Hello, hello. This is Kenya Rahmaan. Hope you're doing well this evening. I think it's evening, pretty sure. And make sure my lights are good. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing just fine, thank you. And today I'm going to talk about Tyrese Gibson. Man, it's crazy what happened in Atlanta. Not so crazy, but kind of crazy. So I'm gonna jump right in. If you come on in, if you're joining me now or later, please like, share, and if you're new, subscribe for the latest in child support news, and other like social, what do you call it, social programs or things like that, welfare. Um, I talk about different stuff. Let me see what this is. Close. Okay, I'm gonna jump straight in because Tyrese has been all over, and he was in the news before because of child support, um, and we remember him because he like had a breakdown and was crying, and people, people can be so cruel, and most people are fortunate enough that they never have to go through the family court system and have their children taken from them and be monitored and having to pay child support, um, and not being able to see their children. So a lot of people don't know what that feels like, or having to go through that. So I'm trying to say, maybe be sympathetic if somebody is going through that, because it's a lot more difficult than what it appears, instead of like laughing or thinking it's funny. So, yeah, he was in the news, and I'm just going to go over some facts in the case. And this is all according to TMZ. So, Tyrese was held in contempt of court uh, on April 25th in order to pay $636,000 for child support, and for his ex's lawyer. The judge set the due date for this money, which is going to be $258,000, on May 15th. But his attorney says the date can be pushed back once she files an appeal. The judge made a point on saying that Tyrese has been paying support all along, right? But it's not the full amount. So that indicates that, he has been making an attempt, but from what I've read, he has another child support case in which he's paying on that too. The full amount of the order is $10,000, but Tyrese has only been paying $2,236 a month. The other bill, the child support amount, is 10,000 and some odd. I have it down here. So the arrears are set at 237,000, which represents the difference he owes plus the interest. The main issue is an ongoing child support battle with Tyrese's ex and his refusing to pay the full 10K because he felt the judge was, quote, racist and biased against him. And that's something that is common. We've heard that in Oakland County, Michigan. I did an interview with my friend Darius McCrary. I have talked to several fathers who feel that the judges are biased or racist. And of course, we know that there's bias in the family court system against fathers. Tyrese also stated on his on the stand that he feels the 10,000 is excessive and that his ex doesn't need that much because she makes good money on her own. We hear that all the time. 10,000 is a lot per month for a child. What child needs $10,000 every month for what? So he has a valid point for that. And before he went to court, he went live a few days earlier, accusing the judge of the racism and calling for civil rights leaders to show up on the courthouse steps to support him, but nobody showed. The judge ordered Tyrese to pay $237,344 in back child support. But get this, he ordered him to pay $399,000 for the ex-lawyer for his ex's lawyer's fees and $17,000 for the special master. In case you wondering, like I did, what's the special master? That is a referee appointed by the judge to handle minor disputes during the case. So that's not somebody that Tyrese brought in and said, I need this special master. So he has to pay that regardless. So they just, I guess, threw that in. His ex's lawyer told TMZ that, quote, all she, the ex, wants to do is co-parent their daughter, follow the court orders, and move forward in peace, end quote. I don't know about you guys, but if I have a lawyer and I'm trying to co-parent and that lawyer is getting more child support, getting more money in his fees or her fees than I'm getting in child support, I'm gonna have a problem with that. That lawyer is getting $500,000. That is, I have the figures. I broke it down. So people are laughing at Tyrese. But actually, no matter how you feel about his music or, he's always on the internet about his issue or whatever, I've seen all kind of comments. And I mean, I feel a type of way because of what, what I was doing. But people should be concerned about what this judge did down here in Fulton, not down here, but in Fulton County, but how these judges move around, period, in this system. But if you're a citizen of the United States and a taxpayer and you believe in the Constitution, you should be concerned about what happened to Tyrese with this judge. It should be disturbing. Whether you think parents should pay child support or not, this should disturb you because paying his ex's lawyer more money than is even due on the child support case is ridiculous. There's a reason for that because you have to go back to how this even started. So you have the one civil case, the child support case, and now you have a whole hold on, let me get there. So if we go back when the judge originally ordered Tyrese to pay the child support order, so it's $10,690 in monthly support, which is ridiculous, especially if the mother is making money. That's based on the ex-lawyer claiming that he made $2 million in 2018. Gibson denied that he made that much money and said he'd been financially ruined. So if they have the evidence that says that he doesn't have that money, they're supposed to set the child support order based on what that person makes, what the non-custodial parent or the paying parent makes. So for the judge to ignore that and set the child support amount on what he used to make or what they are accusing him or claiming that he makes is a violation of his rights. And they're in the guidelines. So this is a clear case of them ignoring all the guidelines. The judges, and they do it all the time. You cannot, and this is all the child support agencies, you cannot just pull a number out of the air, even in a celebrity case, a high profile case, and say, oh, you used to make that amount. You can make it again and set a child support order this high. And that's what they did here. And then the judge goes on to say, and this is again according to TMZ, that told Gibson that he should, quote, be happy if his ex moves into a nicer house because it means a better standard of living for his daughter, end quote. Well, that means what? If he doesn't have the money, what difference does it make if his daughter moves into a better house or not, because he can't pay it? So what is this judge really doing? It sounds personal. So if we're giving the judges leeway to violate the Constitution like this, what else will they violate? So now what Tyrese is saying or was saying makes sense. This is a civil rights issue, because this judge is not going on his income or how much he can provide or how much he can afford. He's going on fictitious information and then saying, oh, you should be able to afford this, and your daughter's going to be living like this or that in this nice house. Well, I can't afford. He's saying I can't afford it. So the judge did what all judges do, and why nearly every child support case starts off with the paying parent owing tens, and in this case, hundreds of thousands of dollars from the jump. And he backdated or charged Gibson retroactively. He went back to when the ex filed for divorce September 2020, and the total when they started out was $209,000. So he was in debt from the beginning. And that's what happens when low-income fathers go in, they get ordered to pay child support, they get charged back child support. So it starts off and like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 that they owe. Well, that still doesn't add up to what this lady's lawyer is getting paid. TMZ reported that the amount was decreased by almost $50,000, leaving a balance of almost $170,000. So I broke the numbers down. So the balance was $170,000. With him paying a little over $2,000, we have $8,454 per month. So from August to March, we got about $59,200. That leaves the total balance at $229,178, with interest of about $8,116. So without even knowing what his lawyer made, so we're not even counting that, this man paid his ex's lawyer more money than he paid his ex, to the tune of, are y'all ready for this number? $269,822. What the fuck? Excuse my language. I said I wasn't gonna cuss on this video, but this should not be allowed to happen for so many reasons. He owes the lawyer more than even when they even started out. And that is ridiculous. I don't know how much the lawyer, but if anybody should pay the lawyer, it should be her. She should pay the lawyer. So this is why it's very concerning. And Tyrese is paying her child support, the lawyer's child support if he got kids. He paying for a pool. He paying for a car. And then you got the court master or the referee. That's what, 17, 20. He paying for everything over there. And the poor baby, she like, well, Tyrese is paying for everything. The lawyer don't $270,000. Oh. Okay, so why this is a bigger deal than, well, it's hard to surpass that amount of money. I mean, okay, let me just stop right there. The ex-wife, how can she even be okay with the lawyer getting more money and she just wants to co-parent? How is she sitting? Okay, that's vengeful. She just doing that out of spite. I don't care what nobody say. You doing that out of spite, girl. He making 270,000 more. And this is just, I didn't see the court papers, but this is just me, like, looking at the numbers and doing a little. She just mad. I'm sorry. She's just trying to stick it to him. But let me get back. So what began as a child support case and child custody has mushroomed into a case of, now this man doesn't just owe child support, he now owes a whole different person or firm, a whole different business. And he's going to be, or he is now indebted to that business, which is a whole different can of worms if he can't afford to pay. So that new debt is nearly double what the bill was in the first place. Why? Because he dared to say that he didn't feel the amount was correct. So normally you would go and file a modification. They would look at your financials and the agency would say, oh, yes, I approve this modification downward or upward. But from back in August to now, they did not give him a modification, which is another problem. Why didn't he get the modification that he obviously asked for? He was still paying the support, but nobody granted it. So what happened with that? He has a right to have somebody review his case. So he's obviously getting ignored. Why is that happening? Next, after all of this, what about her income? Based on what everybody says about the child support system or the program, the child has two parents and both are financially responsible for providing for the child. He's paying his part. What is she paying? In this society, we have put the responsibility solely on fathers. And when fathers cannot afford to pay, they are punished to the fullest extent of the law. This happens all the time, everywhere. And a mother can withhold the child from the father. You have the father begging, and that's what Tyrese did in this first case. He begged on TV, crying. People laughed and thought that was so funny. He begged to see his daughter, and he had no recourse. And this goes on all across this country. And the next thing you see everywhere is how this country has an epidemic called fatherlessness. Well, you cannot have a father or fathers begging, crying, pleading with the court, trying to see their children, and then forcing them to pay child support to everybody involved, to the mother, to the lawyers, to the court master, threatening jail. What is going on here? And then we don't even know what or how much the mother is contributing. So they've transferred it to him and nobody is hearing him. And this man is pleading. Of course, we know you're there, Kane. So we know he's pleading out, help me. Can somebody see what's going on? And everybody turns a blind eye. Now he owes not only the baby's mom or his ex-wife, Now he owes a law firm, a whole business. I'm gonna have to exit. I'm gonna have to X this out, guys. I always say this and I never go back often than what people think. So now it seems like we're veering down the road to convict leasing. Now that sounds like far-fetched, but don't think it's that far-fetched. Just like people would think, oh, people think of old English days and what is his name? Oliver Twist. Back then, the debtor prisons, locked up, you can't afford to pay. You have to pay your debt in order to get out of prison. Well, that happens right now. We don't even know the number of people that are in jail right now, can't get out because they cannot afford to get out. I talked to so many dads when I used to advocate, and so many different places that say when they were in jail for child support, they would hear there would be so many dads in there, men in there that was in there for child support. That's what they was bidding for. So now we have crossed the road to convict leasing. And if you haven't heard what that is or you don't know what that is, I'm not going to talk about it here, but I'm going to talk about more in the future. So this is just for example. Should Mr. Gibson not be able to pay his bill, not to child support, not to his ex, but to this law firm that he's now indebted to a tune of $500,000? Oh, I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. That my dog. So should he not be able to pay, and he's subject to a lawsuit, and this law firm sues him, and he's in contempt of court, and he goes to jail. They can do everything to him, put him in jail, and then garnish his wages that way. It happens all the time. So now he's not working for his daughter now. He's not being garnished to pay child support. He's being garnished and in jail or whatever punishments that go on with that to pay a business for a debt that he incurred from child support. So it's a third-party debt from child support. They do this already through the welfare system. If you've heard the Title 4D, the child support, the welfare, that damn dog, he threw my heart. I was flowing too. I should have put him up, but he was good through the whole video. Yeah. Hey, Tiffany. Yep. But that's what the video was about, is Tyrese Gibson paying the lawyers child support. And what else? Or the boat, or for the vacation home, or for whatever he wants. The lawyer, whatever the bonuses this year, the man is due $500,000 on a child support case for $270 less than the case was even worth. Everybody should have a problem with that, because child support hasn't been about the children ever. And this is proof right now, right here, that it's even less about the children now. The child support system is a business. It's been a business. It's an industry. It's growing every day. The government profits from it. The average, for every dollar that's spent, the average return on investment for 2021 was $5.27. Depending on the state, it can get double digits for each dollar. Now, not just now, this is the first time I've seen a law firm collect this much, and the mom or the custodial parent got less than the law firm. This is the first time I've seen that. I'm not saying it hasn't happened before, but this is the first time I've seen anything like this. This is crazy. And if he doesn't have the money to pay it, he could go to jail. He can go to jail twice because this judge, and I do believe him, when he says that this judge is biased and racist against him, I do believe him. And I think that when he called for the civil rights leaders to show up, they could have at least called him to see what was going on. It's funny that civil rights leaders and people that say that they are for the cause won't show up unless it's a cause that they think is a cause. They didn't think this was important enough for them to show up. But Tyrese Gibson's rights are being violated right now. Like, they were going to put him in jail for this, and he has to come up with this ungodly amount of money, and nobody's there for him. Well, I don't have a label. I don't have a title. As far as just being Kenya Rahmaan is Rahmaan, but Tyrese, I will march with you. I will show up on any steps with you for your civil rights any day of the week. And anybody else. Sick of the shit. I know it's biased. I know it's racist. I know it's sexist. I know whatever. I know it needs to stop. So I got off track. So my dog just threw me all the way off. So the last part was not written. But thank you for joining me. If you're just now joining me, don't forget to hit the like and the share. And if you're interested in getting my book, can't have nothing. The dog done chewed my book. The Child Support Hustle, my book. If you want to learn more about the child support system, just how it functions, the Title 4D program, how the government profits off of welfare recipients, is all in here. You can get it at my website, thechild-support-hustle.com. I'm also selling shirts. You can see them on there. And I have my new project I'm working on, how welfare did not destroy the Black family. I'll be working on more videos about that until my book comes out. And let me see what else. I used to work on individual cases. I don't anymore. But if you have any questions and I can guide you in the right direction, I will do so. You can reach me at cshustle, the number 1 at gmail.com. Let's see what else. If you want to get a t-shirt, everything is available on my website. And that's it. Thank you for joining me. Yes, we have to save the children from the groomers always. All right, guys. Sorry for the interruption. My dog gave us, but y'all got the point. And if y'all see Mr. Gibson, support him. That was wrong what they did to him. And other parents too, y'all support each other. We have to knock the system out. Okay, that's another video. All right, bye. Fight the power.